C++ plus. Game state listener, because that's one thing I have to do. Interface. 180, and I'm gonna record the time. That you decided to not turn off or turn back itself on. I don't know. I don't know. Just Windows big shit. Was saying my PC decided to turn itself on during nighttime and it cooked my room, which is really fucking annoying. System have inputs, not outputs. System of what the fuck is wrong with you? You should not have a fucking outpost that's called that unless what the fuck is this? Okay, now it works. For the time. And I got this I have is finish. Let's see, then we'll have a note on that. Of class, there we go. I'm gonna have to look into how to interact with game mode. It's a shortcut remote. Oh, it feels good. Convenient. That's actually pretty good indeed.
In this video, I will show
I do feel like this is something I should do in here.
Hey, I'm Max, and today I'll show you the difference between game mode and game instance in Unreal Engine 5. So let's get right into it. First of all, the game mode is per level. So if I go into Edit, Project Settings, and then I search for game mode, I can see default game mode here is my tutorial game mode. If I want to change it, I can right click, go into Blueprint class, and then click game mode base. Then I can give it a name like BP game mode. Now if I go back into my project settings and search for game mode, I can click on it and I can change it for my BP game mode I just made. If I open this BP game mode, I can go into event graph, and of the begin play, I can drag and do, for example, a print string. So if I type in it default game mode started, I compile and then I run any map, I will see default game mode started. However, if I want, I can, for example, duplicate it, and in this other one, I can print a different message, like second game mode started. So you could have, for example, one game mode that's team deathmatch or another one that's capture the flag, and each one of them would set up the game in a different way. But if I click play, you can see it still says default game mode because I didn't change it. So now I'm on my map 3. If I go into window, I can click on world settings here to see the window appear to the right. Then I can go on game mode override and click my new game mode. So now if I load map 3, I get second game mode started, but if I load my map 2, I still get default game mode started. So you can see how you can use this to have different behaviors on different maps or different game modes. I think it's also important to note that if you have the same game mode on two different maps and then you change map, the values are not going to be saved. So here in my default game mode, I did a little setup to show that. It prints default game mode started, then it prints the value of the variable, which is default 0, then it sets it to 20 and print it again. If I start my game, you can see it prints default game mode started, 0 and then 20 because it changed it to 20. But if I touch this cube here, it's going to load another map, and you can see it prints again default started, 0 and 20. So you can see it goes back to 0 when you change map. And that's the main difference between game mode and game instance, because you can see if I create a game instance and do the same thing, so I just do blueprint class and I search for game instance and I create a game instance right here. I can just call it blueprint game instance. When I open it up, you can see there's absolutely nothing in here because it's not an actual actor. You can see the game mode here is an actor. You could add different things to it, different components, but the game instance is just data. It's just an object. Game instances actually don't have begin play events because they're not an actor. Instead, you have to use the event init, which is going to happen at the start when the game instance is being initialized. And then if I print the same thing I did in game mode with the variable, you can see when I run my game, nothing happens because I didn't set the game instance. So you have to go in edit, project settings, and then search for game instance. You can see here it doesn't say default game instance because there's just one. You can only have one game instance in your whole game. And that's the point of a game instance. It doesn't change when you change level, when you change game mode. No matter what you do, you have one and the value stays the same all the time. So here if I select my BP game instance, you can see when I run my game, it says default game instance started 020. You can see it also happens before the game mode. And if I touch my cube here to change map, the game mode restarted, but the game instance didn't call it again because it didn't get restarted. It's still the same game instance. And if I add in my game instance a function, let's say print var, and in my print var function, I simply print my variable in the game instance. Then I can go in my game mode and do get game instance, just like this, and then cast it to my BP game instance, just like this. Now I can drag from this and call my print var function. I just added another print here to make it easier to read. So if I start my game now, you can see game instance started 020, game mode started 020, game instance var value 20 because we just changed it here. Now if I open another map, you can see it will print again game mode started, but not again game instance started. And the game instance var value is again 20. Let's remove the game mode prints to make it easier to see again. So you can see default game instance started, it was at 0, now I set it to 20. So the game instance var value is 20. Now if I load another map, you can see game instance var value is again 20, but the game mode value is back to 0. So basically game mode is per map, But game instance, there's only one for your whole game. For every mode you play, for every type of mini games you can play, it's the same game instance. And it doesn't reload when you change the map, the value stays the same. So game instances are usually used to save things and load things, such as the player's stats. So let's say you're doing an RPG, in your game mode you might put the enemies that were spawned, but in the game instance you might put the player's inventory, because if you change to the main menu, you want to keep the inventory to be able to look it up, for example. And you don't want the player to lose its inventory if it enters a dungeon or another map. So basically, game mode is one per map and game instance is one per game. It's that simple. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and you understood well. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Hey, I'm Max, and in this video I will show you how to make a simple level system for your game.
Every time I can open the window. Is it not warmer outside? Actually, no, what? It is not that warm outside. I'm gonna get not the heat stroke in here, that's right. Okay. Uh, okay. Mm. What do I want to hear? That's a real question. It gives me our element. Breakpoint object reference. Return me checkpoint ID. What I do about this? What can I do in an enumerator? Let's see. Not really gonna do me much. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna do enum checkpoints. Let's add operator. I want to do is actually, no, I think array will be a better. Okay, I could say add unique. No. Unreal. How to reorder array? That would be really what I want. Sort integer array. Actually, I can do it different. If I'm storing all these actors on the class. Hey, Craig Fox, how's it going? I sound like shit because I have full nose that hit over the last 2 days is killing me. How you doing? Not so bad, not so bad. Just thinking about like I'm working on a checkpoint system now and trying to figure out how to make it so that it doesn't require me to manually set anything like number of checkpoints in level and so on. So I do have an idea that well, I am getting a list of all the actors in class already. Um, it's just that like what I'm trying to figure out now is I have a blueprint interface inside of, oh, why is it not invalid? Why is it invalid? Okay, I'm gonna have to figure it out. Because it's set. So sorry, I kind of got myself distracted. So what I'm trying to do now is I have a blueprint interface inside of my checkpoint that sends in checkpoint ID. So I'm trying to find a way for myself to look for this checkpoint ID variable inside of array of actors. So basically I have to like for loop all the actors and check which one has matching ID. I mean, yeah, it just takes some time to figure it out. Look for each of a break. Let's loop the body and get checkpoint ID. And if checkpoint ID matches this, Oh, it's a plugin. It's a plugin called. There's two plugins I got because I wasn't really fan of original lines of not ZBrush, Unreal. I'll look it up for you quickly. Where is it? Plugins. Oh, here. I think it was called Electronic Lines. Yeah, Electronic Note. You can find it on Fab. It's like few quid. It's pretty cheap. And another one that I have that I really like is Flat Note. It basically makes everything just look, flat in terms of a look. It's, I think, a bit more readable. Yeah, I sometimes found it a bit just visually confusing with all of them being curves. It's a bit easier to understand what you're looking at when they're straight. Okay, so I have this. So I'm checking if this checkpoint. Okay, but what does that give me really? Well, that doesn't really do anything for me when I think of it. What is that I want to do? You know what? I need to break it down visually because I'm kind of I find myself a bit lost. Okay, so Draw.io is better. No, don't update. Okay, so what I actually need to do? I need to start with checkpoint value 0. Actually, that's what I was starting to record timer checkpoint ID. Then, once I do this, on every next, I need to check if checkpoint ID is as recorded ID +1. So this basically gives me don't record checkpoint if it's all previous checkpoint or if it's not next checkpoint. Then if it's false, I want to give wrong checkpoint warning. If it is correct, I want to record time and update last start checkpoint. And then we're just going to loop that. No. There's another step I need to consider. Come on, yeah, snap it. Snap it, you cock. Yeah, nice. What type of game I'm making? I think it will be best described as a Trackmania meets Sonic meets Prince of Persia. I don't know, something like that. So I want to have it like a time trial based game, but rather than controlling a vehicle, I want to control a character because I feel like it just it makes a movement all the more interesting, like wall jumps, wall ride, and so on. You don't really get to you don't really have those options when you control like vehicles. But so I want to combine these mechanics. I mean, big part of the reason why I'm deciding to go for something like that is because it's relatively minimalistic art-wise. It's simple in terms of code because you don't have to deal with like AI storytelling, like dialogues and whatnot. So it's just it really helps you narrow the scope, which like as a first game you really don't want to make it a sword art online MMORPG, because I've already been in RevShare projects which try that, and trust me, it doesn't fucking work. Do we have a level done? Do we have a networking done? Oh, no. Our networking programmer is now on 7 months break because he has to study for exams. Yeah, fuck those people. I might have a small trauma related to that. It really sucks because like a lot of these folks who want to make these indie projects, like I want to make my dream MMORPG. It's not even that they can't do it because they don't have experience. Most of these projects fall apart is because people are afraid to hold each other accountable because, well, everyone works for free, right? So, of course, you cannot really expect people to work 40 hours a week if you're not paying them salary. I mean, even with salary, people don't really fucking do that. People slack off as much as they can. That's just capitalism for you, You want to get most for the least amount of work, and an employer wants to get most for this amount of money. So, well, it is what it is. But with this project, it's like now you actually have to have everyone on board, and it never happens. There are some edge cases, like there was a project that when I joined it initially, it looked really like something that will never get anywhere, but I actually shipped a game. It wasn't super well received, but it shipped, which great for those guys. Oh yeah, I remember. I left it because I wanted to do character art. That they wanted me on environment. I was like, nah, fuck that. Like this one, it was actually a revenue share project that became an actual game. So great for the folks who worked on it. Like it's really hard to get anything done in a unpaid team. So I'm really glad it worked out for them. So bad they didn't really get too well received. Oh no, actually, you know what? No, they did make some money, like 2,000 reviews. That's like at the very least 6,000 copies sold. Sorry, 60,000 copies sold. 60,000 times 20. Oh, that's actually really good. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I have to make that Discord a bit more active, but I recently got into streaming, so I'm trying to take it, one step at a time. Another one that I joined a long time ago, but I left because they didn't really have much of a gameplay going. Although it seems like they did pick up, like they did actually get picked up on some based on that. They have really good creature artists. So yeah, there's that. But I would say that team is a bit too small for the type of game they're trying to make, because they want to make something like Arcs. Sorry, not Arcs. Like Ark, but with dinosaurs. It's very ambitious project. Not impossible, and the creature design, I would say alone is really strong. So I'm pretty sure they're gonna sell it based on that alone. But from my experience, I just feel like I would rather work on something myself because I just find myself overly frustrated when I see people never really committing enough to these projects. Then again, I guess I'm just a needy bitch. Okay, and here I want to, if the checkpoint is finish false, I want to check. Yeah, I need to check if every single one is last, because that way I don't have to worry about storing number of checkpoints. I can just check it. Yeah, especially if I'm actually sending in the Boolean value for it is finished. My only concern is that I probably should also check which is a start checkpoint. Yeah, I probably should do that. Get all checkpoints on begin play. Where's this? I want to get all checkpoints, and I want to run for a loop to get start. Okay, I want to get checkpoint that is start, and I want to store this variable. Because I will need this to reset a game. I will need this to reset a game state. And this one will be oh nice. I love when my PC crashes. Oh well, it hasn't been happening for a while, although it did shit itself today. I cannot wait until SteamOS becomes a thing. Like, I genuinely want to ditch Windows and try something else because I'm so sick of this operating system. Any idea why your PC crashes? Because, it shouldn't really do that technically. Then again, even though mine does as well. Ah, right. There is this Rust-like game called Enginefall. I'm looking forward to. It looks really good. It's really well. It runs like shit, but the game is really fun. It's like Rust, but everything is on this train like Snowpiercer. But unlike in Rust, where you have a wipe and everything is wiped, they actually have it as you play it and then you evacuate from the train, and you can take all of the spoils that you had with you and take them to your own train, which is like a vault. So that's pretty interesting. The next time you play, you can come to the train of like the stuff that you had in your vault already. I mean, I would text you that thing, but with multi-chat, apparently, multi-chat is not is a read-only thing, which it is what it is. But yeah, it's called Enginefall. Okay, wait, what I was going to do? On event, record time, then check if it's last. Yeah, that's fine, because on checkpoint, I can run it on begin play. Yeah. I'm gonna have to have another one. Like that's gonna be featured inside of a checkpoint. This is all game mode. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, not a great time for buying new PC because price of components are fucking stupid. But hey, at least we can make Will Smith eating spaghetti in bathtub. Amazing times. Or we can get lied to by Copilot about functions in Unreal Engine that don't actually fucking exist because woohoo, hallucination machine. I love it. Sorry if I sound a little bit jaded. Was really looking forward to, yeah, I was really looking forward to these Unreal 5.8 and integrated AI assistant, and it's so bad. I'd rather use ChatGPT, and ChatGPT is already pretty abysmal. So, yeah. Right. What I need to do now is on begin play, I need to first thing I need to do is dispatch restart event. No, reset state. Let's go with that. Okay, because that is a global event that I will want to have other objects listen to. Hmm. I want to reset player position. Okay, reset player position. Reset last checkpoint. Oh, it's gonna be a while. It's really gonna be a while until like I get stuff in any presentable state for testing. Actually, on begin play, I definitely will want to have a bit of a delay, but that's something I'm gonna have to look into. How do I make that work? Because I don't want players to start running like, you press but play and start. But that's something I'm gonna look into at a later date. I'm not quite sure how to approach that. I'll restart. I want to dispatch reset event state. Yeah, I like. I'm aware of what I need to do. I'm just not sure how to do that in a way that also will disable like player controller and all these things. Like, I want to for now just focus on checkpoint system only, and that's really outside of what's going. I don't want to like jump between 17 different branches. But that does go to my Trello board. Where's my edge? Where are you? Gameplay systems. Countdown. That does have to go here, and that's pretty. I would say that's like a medium priority thing. Yeah, it's medium. Will do, will do, will do. I have to get more active there as well. I mean, I've been mainly using it as uh, a bit of a resource storage place. Oh, why does it not say that someone joined the server? Interesting. I need to add a welcome channel. Yeah, I do need to add welcome channel. Yeah, I can see you there. Yeah, I need to add yeah. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, I mean it's smart, you know. I have a Discord server with my wife. We would just use like, oh, this would be nice to have. Oh, that would be nice to have. You know, this would be a good place to go for holiday. And now it's like a big library of things that like we can just browse through. It helps a lot having this sort of like a dumping location, and it's free. Doesn't cost anything. Another thing I like to do is to like add myself and make it on red, so then I have a notification to myself. Yeah, exactly. Like it's you actually have to work hard to lose it. Okay, wait. I keep talking and I need to think in here. Record time and update last stored fed checkpoint. No. And oh, it was just about how it's useful to have a Discord for, well, to just use as like a notepad diary. Yeah, that's one way to put it. So like, Crate Fox used to have this like server of his emails and passwords. I have a server with my wife where we store all of like would be nice to have or ideas for a house and so on. Okay, I know what I need to do. I need to get for each loop, and it does, but you know, the nice thing about it is that like you can access it most of the time. Like if you have at least it wasn't really an issue for me ever to not have internet while I needed to access Discord. Uh, and I think it stores quite a bit as well in cache. So if you open that regularly, it doesn't always require full internet. But it's more about just having stuff that, you know, for like relatively low priority things. Not something that you need to access all the time, like going via like Amazon QR code. That would drive me insane. Right, what was I going to do here? Right, I needed to open my interface and add another check, which is start. Okay, and now we're going to check. Okay, now we're gonna get is start. If is start is true, we're going to store this element as start checkpoint. But yeah, honestly, it's just nice to have this place to sometimes just refer to. It doesn't have to be great. Like for more important nodes, I've been using Obsidian. So like when I started to learn Unreal, I began using Obsidian. That's like a really good app. It takes a bit of planning to do. What's the game about? Well, basically, what I want to make is something that sort of blends Trackmania with a character movement. So Trackmania mixed with, I don't want to say Sonic because Sonic is mostly running forward, but I can't quite put my finger on a game that does support like this sort of movement. I don't know, Trackmania meets Quake meets Deadlock sort of thing. I don't know, it's quite tricky to say. But basically, it's the case. It's going to be a time trial racing game with heavy emphasis on player character movement. So keeping up your momentum through wall jumps, crouch slides, well-timed dash inputs, and so on. I want to get myself an ass. Yeah, that's one way to put it. Yeah, that's one way to put it. The only difference, I mean, not only the only difference, there's quite a lot, but main issue I have right now is I'm not quite happy with how the movement feels, because right now what really bothers me about moving the character is that you can change direction very quick, and that's not something I want. I want character to be more heavy as you pick up on speed. I want to have this degree of kept momentum. So like the game will be about forcing player to focus on keeping up momentum and finding good lines throughout the level. I'm gonna have to link into it. I know you can deal with I know friction is one of the solutions. So yeah, that's something I have to look into doing. But for now, I figured, you know what, I need to focus on core gameplay mechanics. Now that I have movement in a functional state, yeah, it helps a lot, to be honest. Not sure if you know that the streamer called I think it was Ark. Well, people call him Ark, but it's like Sark Hello or something like that. Asian guy with really elaborate setup. Always does weird shit. He came here and was like, yeah, you know what? I need to add some animations and whatnot. So that's sort of what I did. I think that helps game a lot compared to how previously it felt without any impact or anything. So what I added is simple particle system for when you trigger dash. When you do perfect inputs, you get this little bit of a blue splash. It makes me feel a lot better already. We have wall run and all these, little things. But none of it is set in stone. For now, it's mostly about, okay, I want to have these features functional. I haven't really looked into playing with actual values that much to get everything to feel right. One thing that really sticks out to me right now is movement speed is far too high. But have I seen Apex Rush yet? Is it the one that was made by this YouTuber? like a car game, low poly. Yeah, I saw that. And honestly, this sort of games are smart to make because they're simple in their nature. Yeah, they just got relatively simple in their nature to make them work because you didn't have to do like AI and open world 17 billion levels that have to be all accounted for, like some story and so on. It's a it's a huge advantage. My main issue is right now is that I absolutely suck at level design. I really enjoy playing Haste. Haste was my running game of choice lately. Wonderful game. If you feel like playing something fast, this is so good. Come on. You see, skipping time was a mistake. This game, I love it. It's wonderful. Okay, they added co-op. Cool. Yeah. That's what the game looks like. It's so fun. It really is so fun. The movement in the game is great. And they have amazing music as well, by the way. Music in that game, it's fucking, it slaps. It's so good. Highly recommend if you haven't tried it yet. Amazing game. Fucking wonderful. Alright, if you are set start checkpoint. And what I could maybe do it like this instead. I don't need to record start and finish. Actually, on one hand, I think, well, I could probably just how many RAM sticks do you have? Try to take out one of your RAM sticks. Just go and take out your RAM stick and try to run without one of them. Then take out the other one because that's an easy thing you can check, to troubleshoot, but it might help. Unless you're gonna put yourself at like 8 gigs, then it's gonna suck. Then I probably, I would still recommend you do it, but it's gonna be frustrating experience. Yeah, then it's gonna put you at 8. It's not gonna be a nice experience, but then again, it might be better than. Yeah, I had issue with my PC some time ago, but funnily enough, it kind of fixed itself. Wait, no, I'm actually being stupid. I am being stupid. Yeah. Okay, I'm running this and array element. What I want is actually get checkpoint ID. And I can promote this ID as start checkpoint ID. Okay, this will get me a start. You know what? I should probably just store this value temporarily so I can recall it easier without having all these wires. Array element and plug that value in here as well. Okay, so this will allow me to check if checkpoint ID is starter is the first one. Now, I want to check if is finish. So if the value of that checkpoint is finish is correct, I want to have new variable and call it finish checkpoint ID. I'm gonna collapse these two functions. Get finish checkpoint. No, I found get finish checkpoint. And we're gonna do the same thing in here. You know what? I probably should have this as function without the rest. No. I don't really want to put that variable inside of that function. The hell? Fuck it. Gonna be cleaner. Okay, that's gonna be get start checkpoint. Okay, so when the level starts, we're gonna get first and last checkpoint right away. I don't need these. There is a function called okay, restart player start. Nice. Okay. on time recorded. Oh, I don't have hardware monitor, I guess, installed. There was a period when I think CPU-Z was malware, wasn't there? Some time ago. Hopefully it's not anymore. Yeah, my PC is around 60 degrees now. Yeah, 70 is little high, I guess. Although it's not so bad, like, it all depends on what you have in your background. Okay, so on checkpoint, I want to get the checkpoint ID. Yeah, then you might be joke, but you know what I use? I ditched the thermal paste for this. They're nice, honestly. Really easy to rip though, so you have to be careful with them. But basically, it's just a thermal pad. Nice thing about it is that you put it once and you forget about it. Never changes its consistency. They have a graphene one as well. That's the one I got. But I know there's like two different versions. Both work well. Unless you're doing like some super fucking high OC and you need basically, liquid nitrogen and bare metal to metal contact. This is great. Highly recommend it. Worked really well. Okay, on time recorded, I want to make sure that checkpoint ID, no. I guess I have to make sure that start is always 0. I have some variables I need to clean up. Okay. Last check. I could call it previous for clarity. Okay. And we're gonna start with 0 on this value. So we're gonna check if checkpoint ID equals previous checkpoint plus 1 at I'm gonna run it as send time. I guess, yeah, received time. Okay, we're gonna start this whenever I hit the checkpoint. If you are next checkpoint, we're gonna do a new variable and say we're going to set recorded time to received time. That might change in the future. I might want to have like, but then again, you don't really want to have time for. I'll probably want to have a delta, like ability to compare delta based on the checkpoint ID. So I'm gonna have to assign this to an array. Do I need to do it right now? Well, not necessarily. It's not really important for my game right now to be able to compare before and after. For now, I just need to have a time. But that has to go onto Trello. Okay, that's gonna be a pretty low priority. Record time. And now I want to check if previous checkpoint ID is the same as finished checkpoint ID. I want to run unfinished. Okay, so we're gonna get receive time. If the checkpoint increments by 1, if the checkpoint is not this, that is probably wrong checkpoint. Whether you go back and forth is basically just a wrong checkpoint. The main issue is that I need to have. Well, I'm not sure if I should have checkpoint on start or not. Be right back. Okay, so this is fine. This will work. We're gonna get a list of checkpoints. On the start, we're getting finish, getting start. Do I need to get start ID? Probably not. Well, maybe I can make you. Maybe I can justify it. I guess on reset I could set previous checkpoint ID. No. Oh, but I'm not updating checkpoint ID. That will be a problem. In fact, I'm not setting it anywhere. So I need you to set this value in here. And that will not work. That means I have to say you will not be previous checkpoint ID. I'm going to call it checkpoint ID. Huh, so creative. Big creativity in that. Okay, and now I'm gonna compare checkpoint ID to previous checkpoint plus 1. And if it is true, I'm going to set previous checkpoint ID to currently received. Okay. And then we're gonna record time. And on finish, we're gonna say, like, we're gonna say record time and call it a finish time. Now on restart, we're going to okay. I was checking for world time somewhere. Get no. Have I removed that class? Please don't tell me I fucking removed it. Oh, okay, that's an I. That makes no sense. Why would temp allows be in integer? Should be float. Get month, hour, time. How to get time since game started? Timer. Timer handle. Okay, get now. Okay, on start, I want to set run start. Timer. As now. Daytime structure. Time has, okay. We're gonna have a run start time. And I want to dispatch. Because what I could do is actually, instead of doing this, I could dispatch. And then in checkpoint, I could have bind on run start. Okay. And I should probably put you in a new graph bindings. All depends on this patch, and I want to run this. Bind you on run start. Get actor of class. And I want to use game mode. Now I'm gonna have record start time. Okay. And on that record start time, I'm gonna get now. Gonna promote this to variable and say on start time. The main issue is that this is not a float. How do I convert this to fucking float? That's seconds. Okay. That's integer. Milliseconds could work. Yeah, milliseconds could actually work. Yeah, that would be enough. Oh, so there's actually a reason for why this is. Oh. Okay. Okay. That's like shit from this knocking. What is it? Ah, not full yet. I got some stuff to do later. You know, it's nice and it's not so hot anymore. It cooled down quite a bit, which is great actually. Okay, so now we're running all time as integers, which we're going to have as milliseconds. A bit stupid. We could have just sent it over as time. Why am I doing this conversion? To convert it back later? That doesn't really seem much like it makes much sense.
Hello everyone. Today I have three very so if I click on once you have for this and then points for each rate. Alright, we'll get game time in seconds. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's I think most is for a way to go about it. I'm just going to move it date time. Okay, but I'm not doing high frequency ticking. I'm basically just staring it, but it is more precise. So actually, it might be better. If I subtract now time if I subtract start time from this, it's going to give me recorded time. And now on begin play. Oh, you see. Get actor of class BP moment. Okay. And I want to store this. Please don't crash on me. Seriously, don't fucking crash. Oh, you motherfucker. The question is, how much work have I lost? Okay, not really much. I was looking here, get actor of class. And I want to store this actor as variable. Because then we're gonna call this essential. Then what I need to do is I want to say I want to tell you time recorded is this checkpoint ID instance editable. This is my checkpoint ID and okay, so what I want to receive here is time span. Okay, I don't want to do that. Where is this? I want to receive date time. Okay, actually, no, what's the difference between Unreal difference between date time and time span? Okay, so I want to return this as time span. Time span. Okay. It's all these should be time span. On start. Okay, this is bound to on start. Yeah. Like we select time recorded in here. Then you receive text. Okay, you receive checkpoint ID. You're checking if the checkpoint is correct. We're gonna update time and last checkpoint. Okay, cauldron start. That just dispatches it. Now I also want to set reset on restart. Let's check this. Set this to 0. On finish out. We want to set recorded time to null. No, that's not the one. I want to set previous checkpoint ID to 0. Because 0 is always start. Recorded time. Okay, I have to have a checkpoint ID here in checkpoint. Zero is start. Okay. Yes. One issue is I don't really need checkpoint. The start checkpoint is kind of pointless in a way, but maybe not quite. Maybe there is a point to it. The answer is probably no. Probably there shouldn't be a start one. But then again, the zero will just not do anything. But I'll do it. I'll keep it in case I wanted to do something. With it, it's only done like at the start of a game, so not that big of a deal. Now on start. Do I do it like this? Record time. That's basically what it does. In here you check if check if correct checkpoint ID. If it's not correct, you're gonna do wrong checkpoint, and that's going to give me a dispatch. If it is correct one, you're gonna update record the time and checkpoint. And check if previous checkpoint ID it's called recorded because it's like let's record it. It's true. If it's true, we run unfinish. Unfinish, restart player, player start. Okay, now what checkpoints have to do? Checkpoints need to send ID. Check if it's finished, check if it's start. I have an idea what I could do here. In game mode, I could get actor of class. Oh, there's a reason. There's something I could use player start checkpoint location for. That might be a pretty good idea. Could get player start. Then set actor transform to now I could do start checkpoint. And then I could get that start checkpoint and get transform. Split struct pin. And select rotation location. Now what I would expect should happen. Yeah, I need to let player start after I get that checkpoint. It fucking works. No, it doesn't. Wait, what? Player start, okay. Okay, this obstacle I need to stop printing. Component, asset properties, object properties. So what should happen really is on begin play, I should run the game start. What? This off checkpoint and then set player start. And once I have that, I would do this. What if I spawned player actor of class instead of doing that? Okay, why are you not spawning this? Unless it's because it happens on next tick? No, because it should just start me anyway. Player start. Do you get this variable print string? Print actor name, there we go. Okay. So you do know who is it. What if I was to print 2? So both of them must start. Yeah, so you know that it's a start. So you receive that data. Mhm. Okay, are you printing me the actor name? Yes, you are spawning it. Okay. Okay. Could it be that you don't know who the player is? Okay, I know what I can do. I can just have here. Oh shit. It's gonna be annoying. Debug. And we're gonna do here. Oh no, because I have to do. Okay. Fucking irritating. Just a delay 1 second. What will happen if I did this? Why are you not moving me? You know that this is a start checkpoint. Oh, let's see what that's gonna say. Why does the bookie stop working? It's so fucking annoying. Okay, you can be restarted. Let's see. Will you print me player name? Third person player controller? Ooh, that's interesting. No, that is up. That is up. Good character base. Oh, that was interesting. I got restarted. It doesn't restart me at player start. Unless it's because Unreal makes his own player start. Yeah. Because I'm in Pi mode, right? It's explains a lot. So basically level. Okay, I see what's happening. It just takes and moves that actor. It just creates its own. Yeah, that explains why this happens. Okay, let's say I want to add player start. And so I guess if I set it now, it will not be a pie. No, it's just player start. Now, could I set actor transform to this? Recombine. No error. Interesting. It has not actually moved me. Why? Man, that's fucking annoying. Right, I have to get some shit done around the house now. But okay, that's some stuff done. I'm gonna make note for myself for what needs to be fixed. Bugs. Okay. Player position plus node. Change to start checkpoint. That's like game breaking. That's what I've been working on now. So I'm calling it done for the stream for time being. I might be around later, but yeah, thanks for sticking and see you later.